the things that go bump in the night. So Dave, we've been through this entire month, and we haven't talked about one perennial thing. The shit that actually scares you. So, like, we're in Kansas City. I remember in Chicago, they had a lot of haunted houses. My mother used to volunteer at a haunted house all the time. Here in Kansas City, we have I remember in Chicago, they had kiddie haunted houses, but then they had real haunted houses. Here in Kansas City, we have do not mess with us haunted houses.
Yes. Yeah, we have some of the scariest crap on the planet.
I remember that one of them I used to that they closed down right afterwards, the asylum had, and this is an image that is forever stuck in my mind. So in these haunted houses, if you've never been in one, they usually give you a flashlight, so that you only walk into a room, and it's like your group walks into the room. They shut the doors. They don't actually shut the doors, but
they close the curtains and it's dark.
They close the curtains, and your group is now in this room, and then you will go to the next room, and so you're never in a line.
Yeah.
Like you're in a line, but you're not. You're basically being digested by a haunted house. You go to one chamber, you go to the next chamber.
Yeah. It puts you out on the other end somewhere.
And this asylum one was awesome because I have a fear of hospitals.
Yeah.
I really don't like hospitals. I've never liked hospitals. When I was a really little kid, I was in an oxygen tent for a long time. And since then, like, hospitals have only ever been bad news for me. I've never gone to a hospital, like, to get my arm fixed. Like, it's always like, I'm in a hospital, this is bad news. So I have a fear of hospitals. And they had one that was done up like a mental institution that was made out of an old hospital.
Yeah.
It was called the Asylum or something.
I know they had the 6th Street morgue or something like that too.
Yeah, the morgue. The morgue was down by my dad's office. A lot of these things were down by my dad's office, so I would go.
Well, I mean, the
often.
bottoms are full of lots of old buildings that are vacant. So.
So anyway, so this one had like the overhead fluorescent lighting that hospitals have, and they actually went through and they would clean it every night with that hospital cleaner.
So it would smell like a hospital.
So we walked in this one room, and the lights flash on, so it looks like it's like a normal room, like a normal brick, like made out of cinder blocks room. Well, the walls were all latex that were painted latex. So then people start pushing their hands through the wall, so the wall like bends from this like normal looking concrete brick thing.
It looks weird.
And it looks like the walls are coming in to get you, like you're in a padded room.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just like, ah.
How big is this room?
Oh, it was, a normal size. I mean,
like this size of a room?
There was 3 other people with me, and 4 people were in the room, and you didn't feel like you were claustrophobic.
Okay, so it's maybe half this size?
Yeah, so half the size room, and it was just like, oh, guys. So then the next one, we walk into it, and it is a padded room, 100% padded room, and you walk in, and the lights are already on. So you walk from the one room with the bendy walls, the door opens, you walk to the next room, and the lights are on. So I was like, oh, so you look around, we're just in a padded room, and the floor was padded and everything, kind of bouncy. So then the lights flicker off. So when they flickered back on, there were 3 guys in the room with us screaming in straitjackets. So somewhere there was a wall that was fake.
Like a fake door.
Yeah. And it was just like, and like, I wanted out of that place. I am glad that one shut down.
Well, it's that kind of stuff that makes those places just so popular.
So needles and hospitals and everything that goes around with the hospital, like, I'm really glad that I'm on drugs now. That means I can't give blood. Because I would always go to donate blood and I would pass out. We know now that it's not just because I'm a pansy afraid of needles. We know that there's actually a clinical reason.
There's a reason why you pass out.
That I pass out when I give blood, which is why they've said no more giving blood.
No more.
And I would always be like, I'm a very volunteer guy. I'm a very, so I would always give blood, but it's always just like, I remember one time they stuck it. You can't see this, but I'm very pale and like.
Oh, I can see it.
So pale, I'm almost translucent. Like if you can't hit my veins, like I really wish I had gotten into heroin because it would have been really easy. But if you can't hit my veins, there's something seriously wrong with you. So one time, this lady, and this image is forever emblazoned in my head. She stuck the needle in for me to give blood. And then when she turned away, you know how there's like a little hose on it that then goes to a bag. When she turned, she pulled the hose. So the needle went from this to this. And my skin and everything just stretched. It didn't break anything. My skin just stretched with it. And I was like, is that right? And she came and said, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, well, you're not bruising, so I'm not going to move it yet. So you're just going to give blood like normal. And then when she pulled it out, you could see like the cavity that had made, just the bruise just fill. And I couldn't like flex my arm for like 3 days because it was just excruciating pain.
Damn it! Why you do that?
So that scares me. So
I didn't even see that, and I can't unsee that.
Yeah, I know. So the crux. So that plus Japanese horror, like the Japanese have just found a way to just nail that like
to go in there and just creep the
medicinal
shit out of you.
like body horror crap. And
Yeah.
I'm just like So those are the two things that like freak me out: hospitals and the Japanese horror stuff. So every year I try to play through Corpse Party, which is a Japanese visual novel video game. It's $10 right now on the PlayStation Store. Go buy it.
Well, by
You
the
will
time this
enjoy it.
comes out, I don't know if it'll still be on sale.
Well, there's a second.
They're doing it different weeks.
Yeah,
That's right.
I have the first game. I'm gonna buy the second game probably next week. It's creepy. I also have a thing with kids. Kids creep me out in general. Yeah, because I'm afraid. Like when people hand me babies, I get really terrified.
You're afraid that you're gonna drop them.
Or that I'm gonna do something wrong and crack their neck. So that has now morphed into like all little kids are kind of creepy to me. Like the other day where I was in a mall and a little girl was just staring at me, and I got the heebie-jeebies.
Well,
So-
yeah. Was it like one of the little kids from The Shining?
No,
Staring
it was just
at you,
like
creepy.
This girl like holding her dad's hand, just like staring at me, just like.
Honey, don't stare.
Uh,
Just hide behind something.
pull
a bat
so
out.
that's always those things like combine to in Corpse Party to make it really creepy.
Yeah.
And in Corpse Party they do a lot of visual tricks and audio tricks to get you creeped out. And
I mean, I don't know. You've been going on about what scares you. I don't know. I don't really go to haunted houses because I don't like haunted houses.
You don't like being scared.
I don't like going into a building not knowing A, what I'm going to see,
Yeah.
and B, not being able to see it because they control the lighting and whatever.
Yeah.
Like if they don't give you a flashlight, you're not going to be able to see what you want to see.
well, yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah, and I don't like not being able to
It's
see.
kind of like a horror movie.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like not being able to see what's
So
in
do
front
you
of
see
me.
horror movies in theaters, or you just
Not-
wait until they get on video?
Not really.
Oh.
Like on games that are supposed to be dark, I turn the gamma way up because it bothers the crap in me that I can't see what's going on.
That's fun too.
You know, I not being able to see what's in front of you
Yeah.
is the worst thing I can imagine.
So you're afraid of the dark.
I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of not being able to see. So
Yeah.
being blind in any sense, yeah, it's terrible. That and bees, bees, wasps.
I'm not afraid of bees. I've been stung enough times. I don't even care anymore.
No, I swell up really bad, so
No, I swell bad too,
I'm
but I'm
mildly allergic. So
It's kind of one of those things I'm like, whatever.
yeah, ow. No,
Oh.
forget bees.
So you're not spiders? You're not afraid of spiders?
Spiders don't really bother me unless they're big and
Yeah.
they're unwanted. Like if they're in a cage, they're cool.
Okay.
I'm okay with it. But if it's like, hey, there's what do they call that? A bird killer that's the size of this.
Oh yeah.
My laptop? No, Dude, I'm done with you. There's not enough Lysol in the world.
So what's the scariest movie monster you've ever been?
What the scariest monster that's ever got me in a movie?
Yeah.
What was that? No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like I said, I don't watch a lot of scary movies. I don't do a lot of scary
So
stuff.
well, like okay, so
Like
what-
I saw Jeepers Creepers and that was really fucking weird and it was kind of creepy, but it wasn't really scary.
Yeah.
Because you never really see the monster until like the last 5 seconds, and it's
Yeah.
like what you were talking about with the. I don't think we were talking about this on the show, but with
No.
Mimic,
Yeah, Mimic.
where it's just like a giant bug thing,
Yeah.
and that has kind of a human face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't watch a lot of scary stuff because it never really interests me. You know, it's like I don't
wanna
get
be
I don't
scared.
like being scared. So why would I put myself in a situation where I could be scared? You know. Yeah.
So the
I mean,
scary-
I like the idea of a horde of zombies is pretty scary, depending
well,
on
not,
which
not to me.
depending
Like, I
on which
feel
kind
like-
of
I feel
zombies
like-
they are.
Yeah, I feel like now we have enough visual training that like
If you watch The
enough-
Walking Dead a couple
enough
of times, you're
enough
good.
of us will make that leap to be able to survive. Like
Well,
we
I mean,
already know aim for the head.
yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on if they're the slow shambling zombies or if they're like the 28 days later full sprint no stop zombies.
That you can get zombie disease from your eye.
Yeah, because you look up and blood drops
That
in your
shot
eye.
is always just that always creeps me out.
Was
I
it?
hate when stuff going in your eye.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad too. But
Um,
the needles thing, I don't like needles.
So the scariest movie monster for me is very easy, like the alien from Alien.
Yeah, the Predator is pretty scary too. Like
No.
in the first Predator movie, when you didn't know what he was,
No, here's why the alien is scary to me. It lives inside you.
and it
And it's
bleeds
going-
acid.
Yeah, and it's going to like the face hugger, even the face hugger looks like to me like
Face full of alien wingwong.
yeah, being covered, man, like
Yeah, having your face covered and then having something
like
injected.
and
in
then
you.
like it wrapped like that. That you just look at the face hugger, even when it's not on someone,
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes me already kind of like feel like I'm suffocating.
It looks like a hand. Well, six-fingered
Well,
hand.
it looks like it's supposed to look like two hands with a ball set.
Yeah.
I watched how they made the monsters, and it's supposed to look like two hands with the tail and the two little flaps where the eggs sit are supposed to look like a penis and testicles.
Yes.
So like not only are you're getting
Hands and a wiener in your face.
yeah.
Yeah. Face full of alien wingwong.
Yeah, so like the alien, like for two reasons. Like one, it eats you from the inside. Like,
Yeah, it
it
does.
lives in you and it eats you from the inside. And when it decides that it wants to come out and play,
It tears out your stomach.
yes, or
Mm-hmm.
like specifically, which is always weird to me. Like I always thought like if it lives like okay, so if the alien wigwam goes in like
Wingwong.
yeah, if it goes in, obviously the egg is being implanted in your stomach.
Yeah.
So it's eating food in your stomach, right?
And
so
it's
your
eating
stomach is
everything.
yeah, your stomach is below your rib cage.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like right at the base, right here-ish.
No,
It's
your
not. It's not.
stomach?
Your intestines and stuff are down here. Your stomach is actually kind of like right here, right at the base of your rib cage. The base, like right there.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Dave.
Anyway,
Anyway,
go. By
so
the
it's
way,
always-
neither of us are
Yeah.
doctors.
Yeah. So and remember, pandas are marsupials.
Shut up. Dick.
That's not where your stomach is. Anyway,
Anyway, your stomach
So-
is in your.
so you,
Abdominal
if
cavity.
the chest burster was to burst straight out, it would go out of your stomach. It would actually come out like slightly above your navel. But it never does. It always like shoots this odd trajectory up through your sternum, and then breaks out your ribcage, which is obviously much more painful and horrific. But it's always weird to me that like it doesn't take the path of least resistance, which would be just shooting out of your stomach. That's always just been weird to me. Like every time I think about it, I'm like, that's odd.
Well, what is it?
So, but then the other thing is,
Well, they show it in. I mean, maybe it depends on which Aliens movie you're watching, because some of the Aliens movies they show
Like
it
when they're in the
writhing
cocoons.
around in their stomach.
yeah, when it's in their cocoons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in Aliens, the 2nd movie, it shoots out of their stomach and
I
stuff.
mean, and this isn't canon, but in Spaceballs they show it coming out of his stomach.
And in Alien vs. Predator Requiem, they show it coming out of a pregnant woman's uterus. Always weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, have you seen that one?
That
is the only
I've
thing in
seen
that-
one of the Aliens versus
That is
Predator
the only
movies.
thing in that movie that will scare you. Everything else is just kind of stupid and dumb. But
and
like
crazy
that whole
action-y.
idea that the Predator alien needs pregnant women to replicate itself is just so weird.
Because the predators are, no, I don't want to say they're mammals, but they kind of look like people. Kind of.
Well, Predator does have nipples. Now that I think about it. Anyway, that is one of the things to be a mammal.
Yeah.
So then once the alien is out, it also is very terrifying to me because it's like a bug and it goes places that like it's not going. The predators, the alien isn't. You got me started on predator.
Sorry. Hey.
The alien isn't going to just like run at you through a hallway. It's going to like run around the wall, the ceiling, and drop on you from on top.
Yes.
It's going to like run through the vents above the ceiling. It's like it's going to come at you from underneath. It's not going to attack you like,
Directly.
Directly.
It's going
Like
to
the alien-
ambush you.
Or like Jason. Jason's going to just come at you.
Well, but
The
it's because he
zombies
can't
are-
be stopped, yeah.
The zombies are just going to come at you. Freddy Krueger you're going to see him in your dream. Like the alien is going to just find a way to hit you in a blind spot. That's the thing that always creeps
And
me
then
out
that's
about it.
why the aliens were the most fun to play in Aliens versus Predator, the games.
Yes.
Because they could run on walls and go through
Yeah.
vents and stuff.
That and the whole design of it with like its big long head and like the bone spurs sticking out of it.
Yeah.
And then the final thing is the acid blood. Like even like we talk about like
Even
with
if you do
zombies-
manage to
yeah.
hurt it, it's going to hurt you right back
Yeah.
anyway.
We talk about with the zombies, like we know the training to take the head off and stuff, and like if there was a zombie outbreak, I'd find the nearest axe.
I have one now.
I
bought
have
an
one
axe
too.
this week.
But like I would find like one of the emergency axes or something that they have like
yeah.
in case of fire. I would find that. But like even with the alien, like
There's
your
nothing.
axe-
Unless you
even
can
if-
get it from a mile away, you're probably
Yeah.
going to have a problem.
Like even the Space Marines with like their pulse rifles and the shotguns, like it still comes at them eventually.
Yeah.
So that's always been the thing with me. I'm always like, So the alien is my.
Aliens are pretty creepy when you think about it.
they ever make a
and they just found a
Japanese-
fish that looks like it.
Yeah, I know. I saw. If the Japanese ever make an alien movie set in a hospital.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Alien Requiem, a lot of it is set in a hospital, so it might also be the reason why it creeps me out. If that movie ever comes out, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
You're done with scary movies
Done
forever?
with scary movies forever.
Well, good.
They've hit all of my bases.
So they need to hit that base.
Yes. So bees. So how do you feel about the Candyman, really quickly?
I don't think I've ever seen a Candyman movie, to be honest.
And you're afraid of bees.
I hate bees.
I gotta show you a Candyman movie.
I know that guy has been in other movies.
Yeah.
And I forget what his. Oh, he was in the Final Destination movies.
Yeah, he's in Dead Space 1.
Yeah, he plays a voice actor in that game,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, I know he's in the Final Destination movies as like a more, mortician or something.
when he showed up in Dead Space 1, I was like, oh, Candyman. Hey,
It's that
what's
guy.
up?
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he's Candyman. Because I think it was in
Because
third
that's who you
grade,
know him
like,
as, right?
Third
Like-
or fourth grade when Candyman came out on VHS.
Yeah.
And we were at a sleepover, and one of my friends, we watched Candyman.
Wasn't he in Blade also? Was he in one of the Blades? I don't know.
So Candyman is basically like a normal slasher killer guy from the inner, and there was always inner city stuff.
Yeah.
But he's made out of bees.
I hate you.
Oh my god!
You just ruined my life. I hate you.
Like I don't remember.
Now you've guaranteed that I will never watch that
The VHS
movie.
cover for Candyman, one of the Candyman movies, is like a woman with like a mouthful of bees, and I was just like, ah.
Run away! No.
So give me let's give the kids a recommendation for a scary movie they probably haven't seen. So Candyman 1, you probably haven't seen. It's very 90s, but that's my recommendation. Also, Exorcist 3 Legion. It's written by the guy who wrote the original Exorcist book. It doesn't have a lot to do with like the Pazuzu thing. It's really just kind of weird and off.
Leprechaun 4, Leprechauns in Space.
No,
No,
not
it's a
Leprechaun
terrible
4.
movie.
No,
Don't.
not Leprechaun 4. You need to go Leprechaun. Let's see, Leprechaun 1, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3 was Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechaun 5 is Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Boom!
Or,
you my ninja, man. You my ninja.
Tales from the Crypt was always really good.
Oh yeah,
It was pretty
Creep Show. Remember Creep Show?
Creep Show was pretty good,
Creep
too.
Show. The last thing in Creep Show. Creep Show is an anthology. You need to see it. The last part of Creep Show, it was always so freaky to me. They're on like one of those little pontoon boats in a lake, and there's like this sentient oil slick coming after them, and they can't get in the water.
Like Pirates of Dark Water?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yes!
It always creeped me the hell out.
That's cool. Yeah, or what is it? Bordello of Blood? The
Snoop Dogg?
Yes. Yes, I think that's what it was. Or no, was that
No, Snoop Dogg was in something else. Bordello of Blood.
there was a Tales from the Crypt that had Snoop Dogg in it, and I can't remember
That
what
might
it
be
was.
Bordello of Blood. Because all I remember from Tales of the Crypt, Bordello of Blood is the VHS cover of like the Crypt Keeper like at a desk and a woman's leg.
Yeah.
On top
Something
of
like
it.
that. And I mean there was a Crypt Keeper thing
If you're
where
gonna watch Bordello of Blood, watch From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn was a pretty
Ooh,
good
it's
movie.
so awesome.
It's way more actiony. It's not very horror. Like it's campy horror. It's
Yeah.
kind of good.
I love George Clooney in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 8. He's like, I got 6 friends, and they all. If you want to run, remember, I have 6 friends, and they all run faster than you.
Yes.
Boom, George Clooney.
Yeah, George Clooney. Those are good. And Harvey Keitel.
Harvey
who,
Keitel.
Like, and then they turn.
Cheech Marin. Oh,
Yeah.
that whole monologue.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't say it.
Well, you could, but it's not
But,
good. It's good. It was a good movie.
Oh, and the 2 Grindhouse movies. I recommend both of those.
What is Death Trap?
Death Proof,
Oh,
and
Death Proof, yeah.
Planet Terror.
Yeah. The Quentin Tarantino presents
Yes.
Grindhouse. Yeah, that was,
Quentin
that
Rodriguez
was a good
presents
movie.
Grindhouse.
Those were good movies. It was a good silly. I wouldn't say there's
I
horror
think Death
movie.
Proof is kind of scary. Death Proof is just Kurt Russell's character, and that's just super weird.
Yeah. It's a weird movie.
Yes. So be scared. We'll be back to normal in November, and don't eat too much candy. And definitely don't go up to the bathroom right now. Turn off the lights and say "Candyman" 3 times into the mirror. Bye.